Welcome to New York City. Right now I'm in one of my favorite modes of transportation, and it is the cable car that goes between Roosevelt Island and Manhattan. And we're gonna see magnificent views today of New York City and also of the bridges and the East River. Let me know where we're watching from. I'm Marielle, this is Urbanist, and let's go explore Manhattan. So nice to see everyone here. Let me know where you're watching from and enjoy the views. So this costs the price of a subway ticket. Same price, same system. You can use a MetroCard, you can use your phone, you can use a credit card, you can tap in with a credit card if you have a chip. And I think right now the current price of Subway is $2.90, if I'm correct. And here we are. Roosevelt Island is an island that extends on the East River between Queens, which is down there, and Manhattan, which is right over here. And we go pretty far up, right by the Queensboro Bridge, also known as the 59th Street Bridge, also known as the Ed Koch Queensboro Bridge. And it makes me miss Chamonix, France. So look at these magnificent views. Oh my God. So we see Roosevelt Island, all the condominiums popping up here, all the apartment buildings. And we see magnificent views of also the East River and FDR Drive as well. And we can see the Rockefeller Foundation, the Ford Foundation building right there. And I'm just stunned at how the FDR Drive actually cuts through these huge buildings along the East River. And here we have the other cable car. So let me know if anyone has seen Spider-Man 1. It's one of the movies that shows an action scene here. And look at the magnificent views of the Queensboro Bridge. Oh my God. Here we're seeing down, I think this might be York Avenue or First Avenue. Here we see the off-ramp of the Queensboro Bridge. Mika is asking how high. You know, I'm not entirely sure the height. The towers of the Queensboro Bridge, I think, reach 150 feet high. Maybe they're higher than that. They're pretty high. I think they're about 15 stories or more. Maybe a little bit more, maybe about 20 stories tall. So I would say this goes maybe 100 to 120 feet high. Making an estimate. good. All right, we are outside. This was what we just rode over here. And I love these cable cars. I think we should build more of them in New York City. I mean, they're pretty huge pieces of infrastructure, though they're so much fun, and I think they're so worth it. Let me know, should we build more gondolas? Mayor Bloomberg back in the early 2000s actually had a plan, a proposal to make gondolas that would extend, I think, from Brooklyn to Staten Island, or I think it might have been from Manhattan to New Jersey, one of those two. But I remember there were plans to make more cable cars and gondolas. Gondolas are like the mini version of these. And I wish that we would have done that. That would have been so cool. So let's see it depart. Susie says, bring back Bloomberg. Yeah, those plans were killed after his administration, along with a whole host of other plans as well. Do cable cars need air rights to build, says Adam. You know, Adam, that is a great question. I don't know for sure. I don't think so, since this would be a governmental work. I don't think they need air rights. So this is about to take off. Oleg says having alternatives is reasonable. Ron, thank you so much for showing it. Ron says that the Queensboro Bridge is 118 feet high at its maximum height. So this is going a little bit less, 90-ish, maybe 80 feet high. And there it goes. I just love this. It makes me miss Chamonix, France. So I took the highest cable car in the world. Basically the same type of machinery you see here. I think it might even be by the same company because it's a very similar cable car. I took it up to a 12,700 foot mountain from Chamonix, France to see the French Alps, and it was stunning. Tony says this would be cool between Manhattan and Jersey City. Oh my god, that would be amazing. But the problem is with the Hudson, it's much more bigger and larger, so it makes it challenging. Let me give you an overview first before I head down of how to pay for the Roosevelt Island tram. So the tram passes fairly frequently, about every 10 minutes during the peak times. You can buy yourself a Metro card, but this is no longer needed. All around New York City now, they have implemented the Omni system, A-O-M-N-Y. I'll show it to you as people finish tapping in. And the cool thing is, all you need is a phone that's connected to your credit card. So if you have an Apple that has Apple Pay, or you have Google that has Google Pay, or Android phone that has Google Pay, you can easily tap in. Or if you have a credit card with a chip, a tapping chip, you can also tap in. So there is no need for a Metro card. All you do is just tap in, boom, and you're in. No need for a Metro card. That soon will be phased out. I'll let you know the price. There we go, $2.90. Susie says, I use my debit card. Yes, you can use your debit card if it has a chip to tap in. Mika's asking, do you tap in and tap out? No, unlike London or other metro systems that you find in Europe, you don't need to tap out. I think there might be a few metro systems in the US where you do tap out, but not in New York City, not in New Jersey either. You just tap in. It's one fare for everything. Josie says there's also an Omni card. There is an Omni card. I've never seen it. I've never seen anyone use it. But I assume it's like just like the Metro card. You just preload it, and you can tap in to whatever ride you need. This system is in place for the New York City subway, this cable car, the Roosevelt Island tram that we just took. It's also available for buses, express buses too, but not the New Jersey Transit yet, which is a shame. And oh my god, here we have peak rush hour traffic. It's crazy how much louder New York City is compared to these other European cities that I have featured. Adam says, hope New Jersey transit buses one day use Omni card. Yeah, it's a shame that New Jersey has not implemented tap-ins systems yet. Susie says, I'm clumsy with my phone. I'd rather use my debit card. Okay. Hello, Purple Queen. Hello, Aramis. We got Daniel tuning in as well. We got a lot of people over here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oleg says you can also use a smartwatch. Yes, you can use a smartwatch as well. It also has Apple Pay or Google Pay. I'm not sure if there's like a Chinese equivalent for those that works with the New York City subway system. Let me know. Sue, nice to see you here. From Yorkshire, UK. Ooh. Near the sister city of New York. Ooh, alright, let's go down one of these random streets over here. Look at this crazy building. Very modern. Wow. I don't think I've ever noticed this one. Hello, Ernesto from Los Angeles. Nice to see you here, Ernesto. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. Imagine living in one of these apartments. It's constant traffic, constant beeping, especially during rush hour because the Queensboro Bridge is over here. It's one of the main connecting points to the rest of Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island. Lots of people commuting on a daily basis. So you could just imagine how rough it could be. Doreen says it's a nice day in New York. It is a nice day in New York. Doreen says, nice to see you. Hey, Doreen, I'm so glad you're tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Let me know how everyone's doing. Ooh. I wonder if they have bulbs here. Yikes, don't think I could do it. Is the rent cheaper there? No. Expired life, you know, I wouldn't be too optimistic that the rent is that much cheaper. No. Always made me curious about how could people live in some of these places. Ooh, chairs. I like chairs. Susie says, what do you do in Roosevelt Island? Susie, I am working on a video about Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And it is a sponsored post. That's why I was in Chicago. You're going to learn about this association soon. They're called Rotary International. You'll learn more about them because I'm making 2 videos with them. But one of them is about FDR and his history and his struggle with polio and how he helped fight polio. And I was going to film today, but I did not realize that FDR Four Freedoms Park is closed on Tuesdays. How dare they? How dare a state park close on a weekday? Like, come on, guys. So yeah, it was closed today. So I gotta go back later this week. Inspire Life says we need a chair test. We do. ABX Girl says, will you be traveling to France soon? I really want to go back to France. I miss France. I have no plans as of yet, but I do want to go soon. I want to go back to Chamonix, France. I want to see more mountains. Doreen says, love FDR. Sounds great. Oh, I'm so glad you're excited for it. Firestorm says, I missed your live stream so much. You're the best. Hey, nice to see you here, Firestorm. Hope you're doing well. Ooh, here we have the CB2 store. This is a high-end furniture store. Rob says, checking in from the Central Valley of California. Thanks for the tour. My pleasure, Rob. Thank you so much for tuning in.
There's like bushes here.
Susie says, take me to some snow. Yeah. Oleg says, I've been enjoying the white blossom season that's happening right now. Hey, Oleg, I'm glad there's a white blossom season near you. That's awesome to hear. Just Kate, nice to see you here. Welcome. How you doing? Wow, heavy traffic today. The thing that stuns me the most about New York City is the sheer energy that you feel in many parts of the city. Just right now, like a lot of cars, a lot of people on the streets, a lot of hustle and bustle. It's something that, to me, I kind of got used to in the pandemic, how it got very quiet for about 2 years. But now I realize, yeah, New York is this kind of really vibrant, loud city that I've been to many other cities, and you'll be hard pressed, at least in North America and Europe, to find that many cities this like much energy. Relic, nice to see you here. Welcome. Maurice, how are you doing? Let me know. Hey, Isabel says, I'm a big-time Teddy Roosevelt fan, FDR's fifth cousin. I loved going to his place on Oyster Bay, Long Island. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, I wish I had the time to go to the other FDR spots in the US, which is mainly where he grew up, Hyde Park in upstate New York, and also his retreat, Warm Springs, Georgia. I wish I had the time to go to those two places, because I would do a even longer video on FDR. Marie says, I'm just a little bit tired. Thank you so much for asking. Hey, Marie. Yeah. Hope you're relaxing. So we're at 57th Street. Yes. We're at Billionaires Row right now. Though Billionaires Row starts a little bit further down. And we started to see the huge, massive skyscrapers of Billionaires Row. I just, you know, to me it boggles my mind to like live in one of these apartments right by one of these major avenues. I mean, listen to like how loud these buses are. And I wonder how much sound seeps in through these apartments. The further you go up, the less sound you'll hear. But once you start crossing about, say, floor 30, that's when you start really not hearing much of the city. And then about floor 69 is when you hear nothing of the city. Ron says, this is quiet compared to Delhi. Yeah, so I haven't been to Asia, and I can imagine like many parts of India, actually most of India must be really, really hectic. And then you have China, of course, Japan. Japan apparently is very quiet for how packed it is with people. Expire Life says we need to do a sound test. I kind of want to do a sound test. Yeah, I got someone has to invite me to their apartment right by a major Manhattan Avenue. And Kamal says, can we eat something? You know, if we bump into food, I will showcase some food. Hello, Miguel. Nice to see you here. Welcome. William says he'll also go to Campobello. He would go to Campobello, yeah. Her POV says, I think so, some parts of Miami have a similar vibrancy. Yeah, and Miami's getting that way, especially how populated it's becoming. And then the same thing with Mexico City. Mexico City already exceeds in population from New York, so Mexico City definitely has this kind of similar energy that New York has. Not in every part, because Mexico City is not as, still has more work to do. Gladys says, thank you for the walk. My pleasure, Gladys. Thank you for tuning in. What's the quietest place in New York City? The New York Public Library. So if you're talking about Manhattan, there's a lot of pockets of quiet in the island of Manhattan. You can go down to the West Village, especially the far West Village is very calm, very quiet. Tribeca, for the most part, is pretty quiet. All the way in Uptown and Inwood, very, very calm. I have a full tour of Inwood. Lots of places in New York City that are pretty chill. Doreen says Roosevelt Island is also pretty quiet. Yes. Yujal says, how far is MSG? MSG right now walking would be, Madison Square Garden would be about 45 minutes or so. Maybe a little bit less. I think I can walk there in about 35 minutes. Miguel says Coney Island is quiet. Well, Coney Island definitely is a little bit louder than those other parts I just mentioned. George says parts of the Upper West Side, yeah, especially once you go to West End Avenue, it's very calm for sure. Dory says, let's go Rangers. Ooh, what's happening with the Rangers? Are they playing tonight? William says, I did 800 volumes of microfilming for NYPL. Ooh, what is microfilming, William? First time I ever heard that term. Ooh, here we have the lipstick building. Now this building is interesting because it kind of looks like a tube of lipstick. I think the architect did this intentionally. It looks like when you kind of open up a tube of lipstick. St. Petersburg says, well, greetings from Russia. Hey man, thank you so much for tuning in. Firestorm, you're feeling sick? Oh no. Sending healing vibes your way. Sending copious amounts of tea your way. I would love to live on Roosevelt Island one day. So quiet and peaceful, says Damon. It is. You know, Roosevelt Island used to have a little bit of creepier vibe. I remember like 5-6 years ago. Especially one of the first live videos I'd done of Roosevelt Island. Kind of used to feel very eerily quiet. But now it has changed significantly. Roosevelt Island, there's a lot more people now out and about. And especially with the college campus, it's nice to just have more life. And especially younger people out and about. So Roosevelt Island is looking better nowadays. Bill says the Knicks won last night. Oh, wow. I thought the Knicks would never win. What happened? I thought that was like the point of the Knicks. That people root for them in New York City because they're New Yorkers, but they never win. Cynthia says, yo, hey Cynthia, hope you're doing well. How you doing, Cynthia? How do all the buildings in New York City look new? It's due to the style of buildings. It's also pretty well kept. So a lot of the styles of buildings is much newer than Europe. Even newer than Mexico City, because Mexico City predates New York by nearly 200 years. So you have a lot more newer architecture here in general. Andrew says, wow, fun to walk. Hey man, thank you so much. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Inspire Life says that was a nice arcade. It was a nice arcade with the lipstick building. It has a cool look to it, for sure. Martin says, I miss New York City so much fun here. It really is. Cynthia says, New Jersey is more intellectual. How so, Cynthia? Never pegged New Jersey as being, quote, more intellectual. Jer says, the Knicks are the hottest they've been in decades. Ooh, good news. Oh, wow. DK says, greetings from New Zealand. Hey, DK, nice to see you here. It's like if you see a Yankees cap, it's more of a brand. Yes. Yes. Though the Yankees actually do win. But it has become more of a brand. So a lot of people wear Yankees cap, not even if they're sports fans. It's just like a normal, very popular brand to wear. Bella says there's a lipstick building, there's a Jenga building. What other buildings are there? There is the... What's the other famous funny building name? I gotta think about this. We don't have too many funny building names as they do in London. The Londonians are way more creative with their skyscraper names. Hello, Ariel. Nice to see you here. Here's a better view of the lipstick building. There we go. Look at this. Jimmy from White Plains, New York. Hey man, nice to see you here. Jared says, I live in Texas. Houston has buildings like this and downtown resembles parts of New York City. Unfortunately, it lacks people like New York. Yeah, probably the downside is because they don't have mixed use. So the reason there's even people walking here is it's office hours. So people are still working offices and they're getting out now. So it's even more packed. But B, and this is the biggest factor, is there's housing, residential housing right next door. Sometimes residential housing on the same avenue. So like down there, you have one building that's residential over here. and more buildings residential. And then right over here on this street, you have even more residential buildings. So you have a lot of residential right next door to the office area. So you have more life on the streets. Where there's people living and where there's businesses open, there's more people out and about. The other third factor is public transportation. So even if you don't live in this area, you can get here easily. You can work here easily, or you can linger here after work easily. And hence, that's why you end up having more people out and about, which is a big shame of many American cities, because American cities, they just have offices. So the downtown is just pure office and pure commercial. And then what lunch place, what restaurant is going to stay open on non-work hours if no one's there when no one's working? So it ends up being a very quiet neighborhood aside from main work hours. And this is the case in downtown Seattle, parts of downtown Chicago, though that's changing now for Chicago. Definitely parts of Washington, D.C. as well. Parts of Boston, downtown Philly. Definitely downtown LA as well. Someone left a super chat. Hey! Ariel left a super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. I miss super chats. I haven't done too many lives recently, so it's been a while since I've received a super chat. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm so proud of my friend who graduated with a master's degree in psychology so far. So, oh, cool. Thanks. Jared says, my tour guide called the Edge the chicken. And I heard some people call the Brooklyn Tower the Cheesecake Building. I haven't heard that before. I'm not sure why he called them chicken. I guess because of it looks like a beak. Brooklyn Tower definitely is more known as the Tower of Sauron in Lord of the Rings. Cynthia says, aren't all those places you mentioned close to New York? No, all these cities are much further away. They're not even train distance aside from Boston, Philly, and Washington, D.C. kind of. Firestorm says, I just love New York City energy. I'm glad you do. Yeah, me too. I smell Five Guys. There's burgers cooking here. Firestorm, I'm so glad so many people were tuning in. Welcome everyone, how you doing? Hey, look, a New York City residential apartment building with balconies. Hey, Bella says Mr. Vieira is so generous. Indeed he is. Martin says, don't block the box. You get a $400 fine. Yeah, you know, yes, you do. Traffic laws I've seen have been more and more broken often. I've seen like people double parking more often. I've seen large vehicles blocking the box, which is kind of the crosswalk area. I've seen people drive just casually through the bus only lane, and then people parking in bicycle lanes. And this has become an increasingly common sight. Case in point, right over here. How can you double park right in a major avenue? This is insane. Insane. And I've seen this a lot, and it really does concern me, because the city, if it sets a bad precedent, you're just gonna have more people breaking the rules. And hence you have similar places like other places like Greece, for example. You know, Greece is a lovely country, but one of the big downsides that they have is not that many people follow traffic and parking rules. So you end up having cars all over the place, in places that you shouldn't be. and that's a big shame. So let me know if you're from New York and notice this trend. So this is one steak restaurant I've never been. Let me know, should I check it out one day? It's a bit expensive. Smith and Walensky. I think from Chicago, which I was just at. It was a short time, so I couldn't do more live videos in Chicago. They've been around since 1977. But I've never been. But I know it's a very old school, classic, traditional steakhouse here in New York City. Wendy says, I love your shirt. Hey, I'm so glad you do. Yeah. Yeah. It's a new shirt that I bought. Bloomingdale's. And Susie parks her Porsche in random bus lanes. Hey, Susie says, I hate when cars park at the bus stop. Yes, it is sad. Wendy says, let's have steak right now. You know I can go for a nice steak, to be honest. Ivy says, you're right by Bloomingdale's. Yeah, we're walking away from Bloomingdale's. So I was close to Bloomingdale's when I got off the... Cross the border. So I had to mute. Someone was blaring country music, surprisingly. This is the first time I heard blaring country music in New York City. Usually it's reggaeton or hip-hop. RT says, it's not that great. Keen, Sparks, and Peter Luger are great. Alright, yeah, I haven't been Keen's either. I've been to Peter Luger. People have been demanding that I go to Peter Luger and do a video there. Maybe I should. Whoa, beautiful mural. This mural has been around here for a long time. It's in honor of the firefighters who were at service in the rescue effort of September 11th, 2001. And you can see that they have the numbers 343, which was the main firehouse that led the biggest and the first big effort just when the planes crashed into the towers. There's a lot more to the story of 343. I covered it a while ago, about 6 years ago at this point. So I don't remember too much the story off the top of my head, but these guys are heroes. Many of them died, unfortunately. And this beautiful mural is painted by Cobra, very famous street muralist from Brazil. And he has street murals all around New York City. Beautiful. So let me know, vote now. Should I cover a steakhouse soon here in New York City? Should I do a live video or should I do a short video? Let me know where you prefer. So vote now if you want to see a steakhouse in New York City. Benny, we don't talk about politics here. Though in New York City, of course, we have so many wonderful communities, and a big part of that community in New York City is indeed the Jewish community. And I do appreciate them here in New York City, and has led to incredible things in New York City history, such as the fashion industry and the garment industry, cinema, movies, television, radio, and many other things. And here we have Einstein. Look at him. Miss Love says, steak, steak, steak. Meta says, Steakhouse Live, please. So this is another one made by Cobra. Bill Scott says, long video of a steakhouse, ribeye mid-rare. Oh, maybe I should reach out to the steakhouse and do it behind the scenes. Maybe I'll hit up Keen's. I think they might be keen on me going to a steakhouse and showing it on video. What happened to the jazz you were going to show? Says Wendy. Oh, we have not set up something yet. But I hope to do it soon. Maybe you'll see something in late May if we can make it happen. Jet says, will you ever travel to the West Coast? I don't know, you know, Seattle is a gorgeous city, but I just found it so boring after like 2 days. So Seattle hasn't really kind of, I'm glad I went though, but I don't foresee really that much reason to go again. Though I would love to see Mount Rainier at some point. Other parts of the West Coast, you know, I'm intrigued about seeing San Diego, LA for sure. Especially San Diego. I've heard many great things about San Diego. I would love to see Northern California, see the Napa Valley. And I would love at least once go to Oregon, but I'm not too optimistic. Oregon would be super interesting, at least for the type of videos I do. Hey, Penny says, I live in Seattle. It's very boring. Unfortunately, it is. Yeah, it is a shame because it's a gorgeous city. Truly. It's a city that really is magnificent. So here we have 10,000 Coffee. This is probably one of the better coffee shops in in this area of downtown, Midtown Manhattan, in Midtown East. One of the better coffee shops in Midtown East, for sure. Taxi Cab says, isn't Keen's Steakhouse the one with all the clay pipes attached to the ceiling? It is, yes. They're very, very famous. Dalbor says, LA rules. Ooh, interesting. All right. Glad you're speaking highly of LA. Yeah. Moon Toad says, can you please shout? Hey, I'm walking here. I don't do impressions. So this is not that type of live stream. I'm not going to say, hey, I'm walking here at a taxi cab. I don't do impressions. This is not that type of show. No impressions, no singing, and no jokes. Definitely no jokes. This is a serious show. Seriously serious show. Hey, Benny says, your videos are very helpful to get a sense of New York City as it is today. I'm so glad, yeah. I'm glad it is, yeah. I love live videos. I think live videos, that's the reason why they're so useful and fun, because you get a sense of how something really is. But sometimes it's hard in a short video. Firestorm says, your shows are not serious. Firestorm, I'm not sure what impression you've been getting. These shows are of the utmost seriousness. These are not fun live streams, these are lectures. So we're right by Grand Central Terminal, but I've covered Grand Central Terminal so many times. Let's go the opposite way. Today's opposite day. So let's go towards 2nd Avenue and see what's up in 2nd Ave. Dino says, summer's arrived. Well, don't get too comfortable, Dino. Because New York City is a bit of a flirt. New York City is a bit of a tease. One day, it's like, oh, 80 degrees, sunny, it's beautiful, spring has finally arrived, I'm feeling so good. And the next day is rainy and 40 degrees Fahrenheit, overcast all day long. And then the next day is extremely hot, sticky, can't move around. And then the following day, ugly, 50 degrees Fahrenheit, still sticky and hot though. So it is a tease. So don't get too comfortable. Here, dress, when you're coming to New York City, pack for every season. Because you might be here for a week, and you might experience all 4 seasons in your entire trip here. Benny says, do you plan on doing more Long Island walks? I'm from Long Beach, and that's how I discover your videos. Yeah, you know, I don't like really driving too much, so that's why I don't go to Long Island too often. I'm on Long Island a lot because it was the pandemic, and it was nice exploring outside New York City during the madness pandemic. But yeah, maybe I'll go back to Long Island for a little bit more. There's still a few places I think I would love to show. Josie says there's so many empty retail here in New York City. Yeah, that is the downside. A lot of empty retail all around the city. DA says, when is the next trip? Ooh, you gotta stay tuned. Just find out. There will be a trip coming up soon. There'll be short trips coming out soon. Bella says, New York City is truly bipolar. Hey, this bus goes to Fresh Meadows, Queens. Oh, that's cool. I don't feel like going this way. Let's go this way. Kind of zigzagging, going with the flow over here. Yeah, the Chrysler Building, ladies and gentlemen, and right behind it, One Vanderbilt. Ooh, the beautiful Chrysler Building. Recently featured in the teaser trailer for Megapolis, which is this is for Coppola's next film. Dino says, are you going to London? Oh, you guys stay tuned, Dino. Benny says, I don't enjoy driving either. I get it, yeah. Yeah, that's why I personally really love, aside from New York, I really love Europe because it's so easy to just transport around via public transportation, trains, buses, etc. And I don't find it as fun to take out a car, start parking, and driving places. So far, that has not compelled me too much. Jared says, makes me think of Spider-Man. Yeah, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man's featured a lot, the Chrysler Building. I think that was his main spot where the Spider-Man in that movie would contemplate. Each Spider-Man has their own spot where they would contemplate. So I think the Andrew Garfield one was the Empire State Building. The recent one, Tom Holland, is his public school, which is I think Forest Hills. One of the taller buildings in Forest Hills. He doesn't have a Manhattan one yet. So here we have 42nd Street. Good old 42nd. So the name Chrysler Building gets its name from the Chrysler Car Company. And the Chrysler Car Company used to have these hubcaps on its front in order to symbolize where the brand of the car, which was normal back in the, I think from the 50s all the way pretty much to the 1980s. And these are the Chrysler hubcaps, rather than putting like gargoyles or something like that. Zuri says, where are the vendors at? New York City has very few outdoor vendors, especially in this area of Manhattan. You're not going to see too many people selling outside. It's very rare. You usually see the fruit stands, which are one every few blocks. You have hot dog carts, but it's not that many. These fruit stands are good because they'll sell fruit and vegetable for much cheaper than you would find in the grocery store for sure, and also in the supermarket. Jared says, I like the Miles Morales Spider-Man because he's Puerto Rican. Yeah, he's half Puerto Rican, half black. And he's from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, I think. Yeah, I think he's from Bed-Stuy. And I forgot where he does his contemplation in his movies. There's 2 of them so far. Arlene says, I'm coming May 14th and your videos have helped me so much to feel comfortable walking around the city. My pleasure, Arlene. I'm so glad you feel this comfort walking around the city. For sure, you know, New York City, there's a lot of bad press of New York City. They often exaggerate many elements of New York City on the news, especially if you're watching from American news stations. And then there's, due to movies and TV shows, sometimes people have this misperception of New York City as kind of a crime-ridden, dangerous place. But it quite isn't reality. New York City, in general, is very safe. In general, is very calm.
What he's thinking.
Do you have to walk far to get your groceries, says Adam? It depends where you are in New York City. New York City is very big, but Manhattan, generally not so far. You're probably about 5 minutes, maximum 10 minutes from almost any grocery store or supermarket in Manhattan. Many parts of northern Queens and Brooklyn as well. It's when you start getting deeper into Queens, more into southern Brooklyn, is where you're farther away from shops. Moontoad says, what's your favorite places to eat? For fast food, I still love Dos Toros, which is similar to Chipotle. It's Mexican burritos. I love Dig, which is rice bowls, American style rice bowls. Shake Shack is always a solid choice. They still make great hamburgers, and I love their chicken burgers, their chicken sandwiches, for sure. Five Guys also is great fast food. They're around New York City. And there's a lot of other places. Now for restaurants, I would recommend Cafe Mogador. It's one of my favorite restaurants in the city, period. It's in Williamsburg, and they have another location in East Village. For one of the best restaurants in Midtown, if you're going to a Broadway show, go to Victor's Cafe. Best Cuban food in the city. Truly, it's spectacular Cuban food. Probably the best arroz con pollo, which is rice with chicken, that I've ever had in my life. Close, also in Times Square area, is Becco, which is great Italian food. Italian-American food, that is. There's a long list. You can download my New York City guide. Write !guide on the YouTube comments. I'll pop up the link. And you can buy that guide, and you'll have a full list of eateries, restaurants, and fast foods that you can have while you're traveling in New York. And I have it broken down by neighborhoods, and there's a full map integrated into the guide. Teresa says, I miss your live videos. Hey Teresa, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Hope you and Father Rowe are well. Love these walks. I feel like I'm in a video game, says Jerry. Yeah. It is, yeah, you have that kind of video game feel. It's like Grand Theft Auto. It's like a nice version of Grand Theft Auto. Susie says, I tried just salad, and it's just salad. Yeah, I think I've tried just salad maybe once in my life. Never been too intrigued to go in, but I still love sweet green. Though the quality still keeps going down, which is so sad.
Like, I know it's my birthday and I can.
Wendy says, can we grab a bite? Maybe. Jared says, when we get food, it's like a side mission. It is. Scarecrow says, how far are you away from the Ghostbusters building? Walking, it'll be quite a walk right now, about an hour. Because that is in Tribeca, much in lower Manhattan. Right now we're in mid Manhattan. Wendy says, what's flicking on your phone? Ooh, do you hear a flicking sound? Nabul says, your documentary series on Greece was fantastic. Hey, Nabul, that means so much. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure making that documentary series. Daryl says, what's up, my guy? How you doing? Adam says, are you hungry? I'm not that hungry. No, not at the moment. Teresa says, I like the Chicago episodes. Hey, Teresa. Yeah. Wendy says, we're walking fast. Indeed we are. So, right now on 36th Street. We started at 59th Street. So, it took an hour to walk leisurely from 59 to 36, which is about 25 bucks. Martin says, what I miss the most, New York City pizza. Soft and chewy. Ooh, that sounds good. Daniel says, where are we heading? Just kind of wanderingly aimlessly. Decided to just go down 3rd Avenue. I think it's a very hectic walk due to all the traffic, but it is fun. Teresa says, how long you been live streaming so far? 1 hour. Whoa. Seems like that little dog is working on the window. Steven says it's very rare to see in other places water tanks on top of buildings. Yes. Yeah, here there's a lot of water towers. It's still very, very old piece of infrastructure. That is required to be maintained in some older buildings. Antonio from the Philippines. Oh, kumusta ka? From the Philippines. Thank you so much for tuning in. Salamat po. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Ender says, I do feel so alone on this work. Why you do? Right over here, Anders. No need to feel alone. Don't worry, I got you. Oh my God. Ross, nice to see you here. Jared says, I can't wait to come back here. Hey, Jared, I do hope you come back here. Antonio says, you know how to speak Filipino? Of course, Antonio. It's one of the more well-spoken languages here in New York City. I grew up in Queens, and there's a lot of Filipinos in Queens. I have a lot of Filipino friends. I only know a few words. Hey, Susie says, try Stickies. Stickies, yeah, the chicken. All right, let me know if you want me to try some fast food fried chicken. Stickies is a pretty common place here in New York. I used to try it when in their original spot, and I did enjoy it. Let's see if it still lives up to its quality. I think they're closed. Unfortunately, I think they're closed. Yeah, I'm not sure why so early. Hey, Wendy says, asking, how is the coffee documentary going? Oh, it's going. We're editing is underway right now. And I got to film a little bit more, and then you'll probably end up seeing the coffee documentary around mid-July. So I'm excited for it. Yes, it's coming. A few more short videos from the coffee documentary coming before then. What's your take on the current spike in crime in New York City, says Terrell? That's all what is as bad as Cash Jordan makes it out to be. I love what Cash Jordan is doing, but if you start seeing it over and over and over again, which Cash Jordan naturally is doing almost on a daily basis, it starts feeling worse than it actually is. So, crime here in New York, I don't feel less safe. I don't fear too much. Like, it's not that bad, but there's a spike in mentally ill people out and about, unfortunately, especially in certain areas like in Manhattan, especially Midtown and lower parts of Harlem, parts of not too much in Brooklyn actually, but usually Manhattan. There's a lot more mentally ill people out and about, and it's a really big shame because it does make one feel unsafe. In the subway, that is the case as well. So there is a spike in that. The problem is with that, it's not like really something constant. It's something that just happens more randomly, where you have someone that seems pretty innocuous and they just scream out of nowhere, and that has happened more and more. And it's made it to a point where I feel a little bit more uncomfortable nowadays taking the subway, which is a big shame because, I mean, taking a cab anywhere is way too expensive. It's not really that sustainable on a daily basis. So, yeah, is it as bad as Cash Jordan is making it out to be? I think it might look worse because he's just covering it so much. So it's not, I wouldn't say as bad as what you're seeing on YouTube, but it's still a little bit worse than it used to be. Susie says, I've had problems with Cash Jordan's content recently. Yeah, I think, I hope he's teetering on sensationalism, for sure. Because it just gets a lot of views. It's a lot of money that he's making. You know, it's tough. It's tough, you know, it's very easy. It gets seduced by the power of the YouTube algorithm, that if you veer more towards sensationalism, you will start getting a lot more views, and especially with long form video, you end up making a lot more money, and it might cloud the judgment of certain content creators, and anyone who is in this business can easily be swayed in that direction. It happens to all of us. But yeah, it does happen, and I hope Cash Jordan does not veer too much into sensationalism, because it could be a way to really get a lot of popularity, a lot of money in the short term, but it's not good for the long term, because kind of your voice kind of ends up being dampened, and people don't trust you as much because it's so sensational. Ooh, nice restaurants here. Oh, there's Little Ruby's. I love Ruby's. One of the better brunch places in New York City. Someone's saying, oh, I'm walking too fast. Dude, I am walking fast. Yeah, I miss walking fast. I haven't had a good walk in a while. Terrell says, thank you so much for your answer. Hey, my pleasure. Bella says, you got a point. Benny says, I appreciate your sensationalism without, I appreciate your forthrightness without sensationalism. Yeah, my pleasure, yeah. Wendy says, how about Chinese food? Yeah, you know, Chinese food. I wish there were better quality, just random Chinese spots. These Chinese foods are pretty common fast food. I usually haven't eaten them in ages. But there's especially in Chinatown, both in Flushing and the Manhattan Chinatown, they have excellent Chinese food. DS says people are just very upset with New York City right now and they vent through the videos. Yes, that does happen.
They're like really sweet, they're like quiet, coming through the ivy, I think before the dad, and they're like,
Wow, stunning view of the, I think this is the New York Life Insurance Building. Yeah, this is the New York Life Insurance Building. Wow. DS says, what's your go-to Chinese food order? So I rarely ever eat Chinese food, unless if I go to Chinatown and eat, the better quality Chinese food. So if I go to Chinatown, classic Chinese American restaurant, if I go to Shizhou Shanghai right now in Chinatown, I would eat a nice General Tso's chicken for sure. General Tso's chicken, one of the greatest dishes ever made upon humankind. Super underrated. Let me know, what's your Chinese food order for anyone tuning in? Oh, sorry. Yeah. So Wendy's mentioning how you can hear my topping of scrolling through my Someone was waving at me. You can hear my scrolling when I'm scrolling through the comments, and that's the tapping you hear sometimes on my phone. I gotta realize not to tap too hard. Camilla says, I like spring rolls and almond chicken. Sounds good. Oh, I wish there were good quality Chinese food here. The Xula says you have nice weather. Yeah, it is gorgeous weather today. So Barbara says, Joe Shanghai is great for soup dumplings. Yes, that's the go-to order for most people going to Joe Shanghai, which is one of the more iconic and more famous Chinese food restaurants in Chinatown. Though, if you do go to Joe Shanghai, don't miss out on the General Tso's chicken. It is the best General Tso's chicken in New York City, by far. Dare I say, even in America. So usually people wouldn't order it because they think General Tso's chicken is like only fast food. And yeah, General Tso's chicken is a common fast food dish, but it is worth it when you are going to Joe Shanghai. Hey, just dropped in. We're on 3rd Avenue. We're passing 27th Street right now. Hey, what? Susie says, get some cakes. Hey, here's 7th Street Burger. These guys are solid burgers. And it's funny, they kept the old sign, which is this older Mexican food place. 7th Street Burger has solid burgers in New York City for sure. Bella says, Nightbot still in Chicago. Yes, I did not update Nightbot. I forgot. And was that a weed shop you just passed? Yes, they're all around New York City. And unfortunately, most of them are not that good. So beware. You're not going to be ripped off, nor are you going to be given anything dangerous. But the quality wouldn't be there. So generally, they sell very low quality stuff inside these shops. There's only a few of them where they have much higher quality. Wow, New York City is so beautiful today. Amazing. Hey, Korean barbecue. Ooh. That sounds good. Wow. Mika says it's so beautiful. It is really beautiful, yeah. So for some reason this street has been closed off for pedestrian only. And it's so interesting. Very rare to find streets like this in New York. Most streets in New York they're all open to traffic. In Queens you have a few, in Queens and Brooklyn you have a few more streets that are completely close to pedestrians, completely close to cars and only for pedestrians. And this is one of the few ones. And it's kind of cool seeing this here. Oh, I like this. We need more of this in New York City. There's more plazas and random streets. This would be amazing. Mika says, just like in Europe. Yeah, it's very common in Europe to see this. And we're passing by a university. So this is Baruch College, part of the City University of New York. It's one of the public colleges here in New York City. Baruch specializes, I think, in business and a few other things. And this is like their quad. That's why they closed off the street. The quad is like the common area in American college campuses. Brenda says, I needed a straw. Oh, I'm so glad, Brenda. I luckily don't see any tents here, so this is not Columbia University. Everyone here is generally very chill. They've been playing volleyball here. That's nice. Panji says, New York City is damn expensive. It is indeed. It is, yeah. It is by far one of the more expensive cities of New York. No one's occupying Baruch? I'm surprised. Ooh, Ying Fang. This is one of the better fruit teas in New York City. By far. For sure. 100%. And here's the massive Armory building. Wow, this building is truly magnificent. Let me see in person. Built in 1904. And of course the original usage for these buildings were armories, hence the name. They're for different regiments of the National Guard. Stunning, stunning building. I'm glad that they kept these up. Kay has tuned in, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, Kay. Hope you're doing well. How you doing, Kay? Let me know. Hi, usually around college campuses, there's different eateries. So let's see the different eateries. There's bubble tea here, which is nice. I love bubble tea. Martine says that's a beautiful roof. Yeah, it is. It's a gorgeous, like, mansard style roof here. It's a beautiful day today. I love when the pigeons are flying through, and look at this gorgeous building. Wow. This is the New York Life Insurance building. The beautiful golden top. One of the more stunning buildings in New York City. And it doesn't get as much attention because it's kind of crowded with a few other buildings. Hey, Terrell says, every time you do these videos, I'm reminded by how many absolutely beautiful women are here. Indeed, New York City indeed has a lot of beauty of all types. Laureen says, this is my preview for next week. Ooh, Laureen is visiting New York City. Awesome, Laureen. I'm glad. We'll go down this way. Mika, nice to see you here. Dalibor says, sky looks awesome. It really does, yeah. Daniel says, I'm getting more and more hungry. Oh, people really like food. You guys like when I cover food? Let me know. It seems like a lot of people are clamoring for a bite to ingest. Hey, Shirley. Wow, Shirley. I appreciate all of your lives. You're the best, and you make me feel like I'm walking right next to you. Shirley, that is amazing. Thank you so much for the kind super chat. I appreciate those $10, and I'm so glad you feel like you're walking right beside me here in New York City. That's amazing to hear. Thank you. And that will go into sponsoring a bite if we can find something. I see a food cart over here. Let's see what this food cart is. See a food cart. Oh. Let's see. Let's investigate. Hey, Bella says we want a very long Very long mukbang video. This is curry, chicken cutlet, teriyaki. Doesn't seem too interesting. All right, off to the next one. Hey Lorraine, nice to see you here. Daryl says I should ask walking commuter for food places. Yeah, I think this is his hood. I think this is where he usually walks through. Panji says, try Halal Guys. Halal Guys is very good. Their original stand, I think, is the best on 53rd Street and 6th Avenue. I've covered them many times, for sure. I don't like their kind of brick and mortar fast food places. I think the quality is pretty low. But for a food cart in Midtown, it's awesome. So right here we have the Friends Experience, which I covered, wow, it's been a long time, 4 years away. 4 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, 4 years have passed. I went here with Action Kid and we did the full experience. I live streamed the entire experience. It's crazy I got away with that. I'm kind of shocked that I was able to live stream. I think I was invited. I think that's why I live streamed it. But it was awesome. Highly recommend going to the Friends Experience. If you're a fan of Friends, that is. If you're not, don't go. Don't waste your time. Actually, if you're not a fan of Friends, you probably won't have no idea what's happening. It probably won't be worth it. Wendy says, how about a burger? Ooh. Lorraine says, that was so much fun. It really was, yeah. Now we're entering Gramercy Park. The bougiest of the neighborhoods in Lower Manhattan. What's inside the Friends Experience, says Mika? They recreate the sets from Friends. And it's an experience. Do they recreate Central Park? They do recreate Central Park, and yes, you can buy coffee at Central Park Cafe. They do recreate it, and that's all shown in my video. So search Urbanist Friends or Urbanist Friends Experience, and it'll pop up on YouTube. And I recommend watching the entire thing. Central Park is towards the end. But here we are. Beautiful Gramercy Park. Such a stunning neighborhood. Lots of gorgeous things to do and see here. Kay says, I could never get into Friends. Friends, you know, I was into it when I was young, but Seinfeld is still the king of the New York City sitcom. Still the #1 sitcom in New York City, for sure. By far. Second place is Broad City, but almost no one remembers Broad City, which is a bit sad. But Broad City is probably one of the better comedy shows also made in New York City. You can find your way down to Pete's Tavern and have huge burgers. Sounds good. Pete's Tavern, one of the oldest taverns in Manhattan. It's nearby, yeah. They actually reached out to me, so I might be covering Pete's Tavern soon. They were curious to collaborate, so there's some interesting findings in Pete's Tavern. One of two private parks in New York City. Surprisingly, there's a lot of people here. And I wonder why. Huh. Yeah, why are there so many people here? This is usually empty. It's a private park because only the residents that surround the park have keys to this. If you live in an apartment building, they have a limited set amount of keys that you can borrow. If you're a member of one of the two clubs, one of them being the Players, the other one being, I think, the Arts Club is right here. They also have a key that they grant to people who want to visit the park. Otherwise, it's off limits. Jimmy says you can also stay in the nearby hotel and they give you a key to the park. Oh, that is a good hack. I did not realize the hotel also granted keys to its customers. That's fascinating. But yeah, definitely a lot more people than usual. And then right in the center, we have a statue of Edwin Booth. Edwin Booth was a very famous man. He was basically the Leonardo DiCaprio of the mid-1800s. He was also the brother of John Wilkes Booth, who shot Abraham Lincoln. Edwin Booth had an opposite political point of view from his brother, but he was still shunned from society for quite a while until he opened up the Players Club, which is around the corner of the park. Miss Lob says, did you just go in? Yes, Miss Lob, I developed the power to walk through fences. It's taken many years of telekinetic practice, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but you know, all you gotta do is like really concentrate really hard. It's almost like similar to like a feeling of constipation, and then you just walk through the wall, and then you're like, oh, there we go. Yeah, you just gotta hold it in, and then boom, you go through. Hey, Paul says this park disgusts you. Why? It's pretty strong words, Paul.
I don't see myself wearing heels.
Okay, so something towards your burger. Hey! Alright, we're on the mission. Jimmy says, where's David Blaine when you need him? Indeed. Paul says it's a shame that it's a park just for rich people. Indeed it is, Paul. Rich people need their parks too. We can't deprive the rich people from all things. Oh, wow. Kay said 500 stars. Hey, wow. Thank you so much for the 500 stars. All right. We got some burger funds popping up here. Let's see if we can find a good quick burger. Felix says the tent cities. Yeah, everyone has their taste. Everyone has their taste. You know, some people love rich exclusive parks. Some people love tent cities. Luckily, the world is made out of colors. You can live whatever way you want to live. Let me show you Edwin Booth from the front. Patrick says, keep the lives and the live history keep on going. Oh, so happy. I like the Japanese park. Such a peaceful vibe to Kanji. Yeah, this is more in the style of the traditional like English garden or French garden for sure. Not quite in the style of the Japanese garden. But I assume there's some similarities. Some beautiful landscaping also in this park. And then here we have one of two clubs on Parkland. This is one of the more older clubs of New York City. The Players. I have a full in-depth tour of the Players, which you can check out. It's an amazing club. Highly recommend it. I love it. I was an honorary member for 3 months because they were. I was the second person to ever make a video of the Players Club, which was amazing. And then right next door is the National Arts Club. I've never been inside. I gotta reach out to them one of these days. Oh yeah.
I followed your whole Greece trip.
Oh,
I went to
I'm
Nexus
so happy.
straight after you did, so I took a whole bunch of your.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that you're in Greece. So.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, have a great day. Bye-bye. All right, shout out to the nice woman who said enjoys all the Grease videos. That's awesome. It's great to hear. Hey, Wendy says the bench is waiting, but it's locked. Yeah, it is, unfortunately. Lorraine, 500 stars. Thank you so much, Lorraine. All right. Wendy says just knock and go in. So the Players Club is interesting. Also, it's a club that requires you to wear shoes. You can't wear sneakers. And you have to wear some business casual or above. Brown Eyed Girl says, why is there so many Corinthian style columns in New York City? It's a good question, Brown Eyed Girl. It most likely has to do with the fact that a lot of these buildings were constructed in the early 1900s when there was a pretty big economic boom, not just in New York City, but in the United States. And in order to display wealth more prominently, and also with the development of cast iron, which made construction much cheaper, they decided to start building Corinthian columns because Corinthian columns were no longer that expensive to make. And it was a good wealth marker. Hi.
I follow you.
Oh, you do? Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah.
So, okay, I have one of these things.
Yeah.
How are you using it? I don't use it because I don't know how.
Oh, you put the phone on there and
Okay,
then...
got it,
and then
right? Yeah, but I thought you had to attach it something.
No. This is just a tripod to put it down if you need it. But
That is a tripod.
Yeah.
See, mine doesn't have that. So tell me how you're doing it this way. Is it just automatically doing it?
once you put the phone on and press on, yeah, automatically.
Okay, mine's
go.
different.
Yeah.
No, I follow you.
Oh, you do? Oh,
yeah,
that's amazing.
so I live right here.
Oh, you do? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and so what are you doing? Were you talking
I'm-
about the Paris Club?
So, talking about the Players walking around the park and everything.
Yeah, no, this is great. I've been living here since 1980.
Oh, 1980. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. So it wasn't a good neighborhood.
It wasn't a good neighborhood back then.
No,
Really?
Yeah, it was dangerous. Yeah,
It was
so-
dangerous. Oh
yeah.
no, I did not imagine that. to be
Well,
the
I
case.
know.
Yeah.
But
It's a
the
big
reason
change.
it's
Good, you
locked-
stuck here. Yeah. It's a reason why it's fascinating.
Yeah, but always, yeah, it's a very old villa and stuff. So no, yeah. So these places used to go for like $50,000.
$50,000. Oh, plenty.
Yeah,
Oh.
I knew people who did it, and stuff, and a lot of the people who live along here, not as much now, but they were rent control.
Yeah.
So you find these really old ladies,
That's
Hamilton,
Hamilton. Yeah.
the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah.
She lives here.
Oh, she did. Okay.
Right,
Okay.
right, and that whole building over there is owned by somebody, and half of his relatives there. There's
Oh,
a lot
the
of
medieval
relative
one, yeah.
story going on. You know what I mean and stuff. So, and that used to be a home for women.
Oh, right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they turned it into this thing. Oh.
Like a hotel.
Yeah.
For women.
Yeah, it was like, think like Eleanor Club. Have you ever
Yeah.
heard of Eleanor Club? Have you heard of Barbizon?
The one close to Penn Station, I've heard.
Oh, okay. No, there's
Yeah.
one on 57th Street. It's called the Barbizon. It was a very famous hotel that women would be able to go, the single women and go and
Yeah.
live there. you know, and be safe. And this was one of them. And then they turned it into this.
Oh, now it's a condominium.
So what?
Yeah.
So how
Yeah.
did you get started with this?
I
And-
started 7 years ago, a long time ago.
But what's the
I was-
what's the angle? Like, I mean, how do you get did you get sponsors and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what
yeah.
it is.
So
Okay.
I'm on multiple platforms. So I make short videos as well, live videos.
Okay.
I make a bunch of videos, and mostly history and architecture.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what do you use to edit it?
Edit. I usually edit on my phone. Adobe
I know, but with
Premiere.
what?
Adobe Premiere.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Same.
And then
All right,
sometimes
all right.
on the computer if
Not
it's longer.
CapCut.
CapCut only to put captions.
Okay. CapCut. It turns out to be a Russian propaganda tool.
Oh yeah.
No, I'll tell you how. I was like in the New York.
Well, it's owned by
Library.
TikTok. CapCut. Yeah, it's a TikTok
I didn't know that. Yeah.
app.
So yeah, I was at the New York Public Library, fooling around with the only photo booth, phone, public phone.
Yeah.
It's at the
Well, at
base
the phone
of
booth, yeah.
Yeah,
There's only
for
a few
laughs
of them left, yeah.
And taking pictures and stuff. And I thought it still worked. It doesn't work. It's the only way in which you can't trace a phone call.
Oh, interesting. I never knew that. Okay.
Yeah, that's the reason, that people use it. But the thing is, all of them have dead wires.
Right.
So these kids were doing a project, exactly what you're doing, but they were Ukrainian immigrants. And they were taking pictures of me doing this, and I told them about CapCut, and they said, no, that's basically a Russian tool thing. So I don't know about the China-Russian connection.
Oh, there might be. Yeah, there might be
I mean,
something there.
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
probably.
you don't use any other.
I know. This is Adobe mostly.
Okay, so that's a subscription.
Yeah, it is.
Right. I got it. Yeah.
Any other cool secrets in the neighborhood, though?
Oh, this neighborhood is great. Okay, so Edwin Booth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah. I
Wilkes
was
Booth
talking
brother.
about that earlier. Yeah.
Right, and what it is that he was trying to redeem his reputation. Because it was after they shot things, and people
John Wilkes.
don't remember how really famous he was.
Yeah,
They had when
It was like the Leo DiCaprio of his time.
kind of, but he would be down on it's on University Place, the Vanderbilt Mansions, the public theater is right there.
Yeah.
Okay, he'd perform at the public theater, and there'd be riots after his performance
That's
of
right.
Shakespeare.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it was-
People were very passionate back then.
No, it was wild. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was wild. So anyway, he did that, and the Vanderbilts are right here, and then you of course know this is where Working Girl was shot.
Working Girl. I've never seen that movie.
Oh,
I
you gotta see it. It's
so
like
it's
this.
mostly here.
No, and that this street
Irving
was
Place.
probably the most photographed. I mean, I can't say for sure, but it was used all the time
Oh,
by
yeah.
cinema because it looked like the 20s.
Oh yeah.
Because it didn't really change that much.
That's right.
And so we were like,
I think that's the charm still to this day.
well, it is. No, but it went down, then went up because and this and that and stuff.
Right.
But the thing is that they didn't change the buildings, and stuff. So yeah, so I was in 74 Irving Place, and I'm back in there. I'm back in the same building my daughter was born in.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You also get a key to Gramercy? No.
only around the park.
Only
Right.
around the park. Yeah.
But
yeah,
here's
yeah.
a trick: if you want to get one, if
Yeah.
you're Jewish, you could go to the temple.
Well, it's simple. Oh,
And I
yeah.
had a friend of mine
Yeah.
that was part of the temple, so we used to have Halloween parties in here.
Oh wow.
It's like kind of unbelievable. She's probably how old are you? About 30?
I'm in my mid-30s. Yeah.
Okay, same age as my daughter.
Oh yeah.
And that's where we'd have the parties.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
but it was looser back then.
Looser, yeah.
Yeah, and so they would allow that, and we'd have Halloween parades and stuff. It was really wonderful. But it was because of a lady who was married to a 1968 Israeli war hero.
Yeah.
So, and she was from Czechoslovakia, Prague. She walked out of Czechoslovakia in 1968, so she had kids her age. And my kid was personable, and so she was always bringing us in here, and she was great. But they were buying places around here and redoing them.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot more people now in the park because it used to be a lot emptier a few years ago.
Well, it depends what decade you're talking about.
I'm just talking about like back in 2016, 2017.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but yeah. So people would buy these brownstones basically to put their parents in because you could put them in the park and leave them. Serious.
Oh, interesting. That's fascinating.
It's like on the Upper East Side, you can't leave them on the in the Central Park.
Right.
But you can leave them here. You know what I mean? Except for then the nurse
Oh,
would
that's
come
right.
up.
Because it's locked.
Because it's locked. Right. So an old guy would sit
Free
there.
old elderly home.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And I can't remember what the guy's name was, but he said my wife had the foresight of buying this.
Right.
But so the cable, international cable, is right over there.
Oh.
The guy who created that building over there.
Oh,
And
this one
Teddy
right there.
Roosevelt is like right over here.
Oh yeah, the Teddy Roosevelt
Right, you know
house.
about
yeah.
that? Okay,
Yeah.
and then
Nearby. I've never been to the National Arts Club yet.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. It's okay. So the Players Club, do you know what the Salmagundi Club is?
Yes.
Both members of the same thing. Salmagundi Club, you could go in and it's fine.
Right, because it's our
You
art
know
gallery
that.
as well, yes.
Okay. So National Arts Club, no, you usually have to rent the thing, and Players Club, you have to be a member.
Right.
Right. So it's a. It's not that my daughter's a member of it.
Well,
actually.
she's a member. Does she enjoy
You're
being a
rich.
member?
No, she hates it. She's too young.
She hates it. Yeah, they allowed me to make a video. I was like the second person to ever make a video of it. And it's because they wanted to start attracting younger people.
That's what they're doing,
Yeah.
right? Did
But-
you go upstairs to the pool table and everything?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah, you
saw
saw the
I saw the
bedroom?
entire.
Yeah.
I saw the bedroom, the skull, everything that he had. Yeah.
Right. So they are trying to get younger people. I'm not a member. She is.
And she's not liking it. There's not too many young
No,
people
it's just
there.
that there's not enough young people.
Oh, that's
know?
a shame. Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually maybe they will, but
Yeah.
we're reluctant to give up her membership because you can't get back in.
Oh no.
Right.
Oh,
So
there's
yeah,
no
she's moved
readmittance.
away. I'm in her apartment.
Yeah.
But we're going to. Thanksgiving's really sweet there. They have great Christmas stuff. It's people do hang on to it.
Yeah.
So,
Of
anyway.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to go one day. What's your top food recommendation in Gramercy?
Oh God. You know what? I'm not here enough to say because a lot of stuff is like pizza's really popular.
Yeah.
It's always been terrible, and and then the Express is sweet. It's open 24 hours.
The Express. What's
It's
that?
right there on Park Avenue and 20th Street.
Okay.
And it's French.
Oh, French.
And
Okay.
it's open 24 hours. It's got omelets and stuff. It's good. There's a bunch of restaurants right there. There's a place called Whiskey Box
Right.
that's trying to get people in there. That's cheap as heck. It's right on the same street, on Park.
Yeah.
Right, and so it's a little bit this way.
Oh, it's good as well.
And they would love you to come. Go film them.
Oh, okay.
Because they've been
Oh.
open, and because of COVID, they haven't been able to get people there, so they have it's really cheap.
Oh, interesting.
And
All right.
food, I didn't die eating there.
I might give it a try. Whiskey Box. Okay.
Whiskey
That's
Box,
cool.
Park Avenue is a little south of 20th Street.
Oh, nice.
But no, I was in the journal. I was a journalist, right? And
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
What paper?
Wall Street Journal.
Wall Street-
Barron's.
oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Oh.
Yeah, but I did television
Television. Okay.
for them, and stuff. But I didn't do.
You were doing videos, or was it
No,
on
I'm not a cameraman.
broadcast?
That was all union.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, I
was-
mean
I
you
was
were
on
on
air.
camera. Yeah. But was it on broadcast television?
Yeah, USA Cable. Yeah,
USA Cable, interesting.
In the very beginning.
And what was the segment?
It was called Wall Street Journal Daytime Report.
Oh, a daytime report.
Yes,
okay.
I was the first woman
Oh,
associated
wow.
with the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, there were no men.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really crazy. But it was
that's
1884.
amazing. Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So but yeah, it's no, you do a great job,
Oh,
and
I'm glad you
I'll
enjoy
make
it.
more comments. Okay, if you
Yeah.
want me to.
Oh, yeah, I would love that. Yeah,
Okay, all
comments
right.
are always welcome.
All right,
in
just
general.
something, because I didn't know whether to intrude or not.
No. People
What
love
you wanted,
comments.
like whether you want. Okay, here's where you really go.
I'm always open to know exactly where people prefer. Like, what's their top
Okay,
places?
You know about Tal?
Tall bagels, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it used to be Essa Bagel.
Essa.
So
oh,
what-
really? Talls used to be Essa, right?
I know,
Oh,
I know. On 21st Street, because my daughter went to Epiphany.
Oh,
So all the mothers, and I live in Stuyvesant Town for a little bit, so
Right.
we take her over there and eat there. This one Jewish guy, I know Park Avenue 50 years, he tells me it's better.
Right.
Can it be better than Essa Bagel?
Some
I guess
people have
Tal
told me
could be.
that, but I disagree. I think Essa Bagel's still pretty
this
solid.
This guy is like 50 years Park Avenue. He's never seen a frozen strawberry. No, frozen blueberry.
Okay.
Because all of it comes here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and won't eat a bagel outside of Manhattan.
Oh, why?
Because he's intense.
There's some good bagels also in Queens and
He's
Brooklyn.
never had to commute. Always walked to work, Park Avenue to Fifth Avenue.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, I appreciate you watching
All right,
that. Thank you so much.
listen,
What's
I
your
will.
name?
I'll give you a
Yeah.
shout. No, but I think it's great what you're doing. I keep trying to figure out what your angle is.
What mean angle and in what respect?
Like how it makes money.
Oh, how to make money? Yeah, because it's you make ads, so it's similar to television. Posting videos, ads are shown on the videos, and
But
you make direct ad revenue from
But
it.
isn't all right? So with YouTube, don't they have hashtag stuff? I know people.
So YouTube is like broadcast television. You post a video and you can opt in to have ads automatically placed on the video.
Right.
And then you get revenue directly from it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there was a guy, a
You
bartender.
cut off the middleman as opposed to old broadcast television, in essence.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so a bartender at Pete's in '84 who was. Do you remember Bernie Getz?
Bernie gets no. Sounds very familiar.
Shot everybody on the subway.
Oh
Lived on
no! Oh yeah,
14th
I
Street.
heard about
was
that.
this
The
neighborhood.
vigilante, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
so these guys saved a woman in Stuyvesant Town,
Right.
And it got knocked off the front page because of Bernie Getz. But they did become the top cop in Northern Manhattan, and he's got a YouTube channel now
Oh, interesting.
called Police Off the Cuff. His name is Billy Cannon.
Oh wow.
You should look at it because I don't like watch that stuff, but I've known him forever, and I've helped him with his background
Yeah.
because he was doing stuff that he was gonna, somebody was gonna go after him about. And he's doing well. He's got all these things, but it's all true crime, and people come on his thing because of who he was. But he was originally a bartender here at Pete's.
Oh, I'm glad he's doing these videos talking about the true crime in New York. That's fascinating.
Well, yeah, from a police point of view.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Sammy Gravano's on there. It's everybody on
Oh,
there
yeah,
is a
yeah,
cop and a lawyer.
Right.
So so they're telling you what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong.
Exactly.
Just anyway, check it out because he was telling me about how he was careful. He had to be careful, like what was supposed to, because they could ban him or something.
That's
They could
still the
demonetize
downside.
him. He says
Demonetize.
demonetize.
Yeah, especially if you mention crime, killing, murder,
His
things
is
like
totally is all that.
Yeah,
Right? So
yeah,
he's got to
exactly.
figure out how to walk that.
Like I avoid World War II history because if I mention the word of the German leader from World War II,
Oh my God.
boom.
Wow.
Yeah, I get
Well,
demonetized.
is it AI that does it?
It's AI, yeah. It's the same thing on TikTok.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, that's so interesting.
But it's a good business. I think there's a lot more opportunity nowadays with all these platforms.
Well, and
and
also the
anyone can
editing.
really
That
yeah.
you can edit like that.
you get it very quickly
Where'd
as
you go
well.
to school?
I study electrical engineering at City College of New York.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah, it's
No, I
very
do.
cool.
I do.
You do?
It's like
Oh,
one of
nice.
the best colleges and stuff. Hunter and various things. Everybody, people don't realize how good it was.
Right, right.
I was at University of Illinois and taught electrical engineers.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, but then how you got into that?
I got into it because I never used my engineering degree. I went into media almost
Yeah.
shortly thereafter
Yeah.
graduating. And in media, that's why I started making
What'd you
videos.
do media with?
I was working as social media manager at Vox, VOX.
Oh yeah, sure,
Yeah.
of course.
And
How are
then
they doing?
Downhill.
I know everybody's going to hell.
All the
That's
good
it.
Vox media journalists, video journalists left and now are on YouTube. And
Okay.
I'm one
On
of them.
themselves,
What?
by themselves.
By themselves,
Like,
yes.
they're in
solo.
their own business.
Because you make more money from,
Yeah, it's
from
also
doing
the
it
tax
solo.
law is designed for you.
That's it.
FYI.
Yeah. There's a lot of benefits. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
What a pleasure.
Yeah, what pleasure.
Okay.
Yeah, have a great day.
Okay, talk to you
All right,
later.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so that was her name is JR. So shout out to JR for saying hello. I appreciate that. And now let's keep on strolling by. That was a great conversation. Listen, this is like the fourth time you've done this. It's the first time I agree with you. Hey, Bella says this convo was awesome. Yeah. And William says, I bet she used to listen to Bette Midler. And she's interesting, says Laureen. LA says, I love true crime. Yeah. That channel is interesting. Interesting that it's an ex-New York City cop talking about true crime. I gotta check that out. Russell says, freedom at last. Brown-eyed girl says, very nice conversation. This was spontaneously fun and interesting. Yeah, that's why I love live video. It's the best. And now this is a New Yorker. Yes, old school New Yorker. Crazy to hear that Gramercy Park used to be pretty run down for a while. I did not expect that, to be honest. And then the other factor is that a lot of the older residents of Gramercy Park are under rent control. So you live in this gorgeous neighborhood, and they're probably only paying about $400 a month or less. It's a nice restaurant. Okay. Barbara says that was a great NYC conversation. I love listening to conversations that just flow well like that. Yeah. You're a very friendly guy. Makes great networking. Way to go. It's cool to hear that JR was a former journalist for the Wall Street Journal, which is, I would say, is the best publication there is in New York City. They take the news very seriously. They've never been sensationalistic. Very in-depth and thorough. in their journalism, so it's awesome to hear that she used to work there. And she recommended Whiskey Rocks right here. Whiskey Rocks. But they're playing loud music. So this was the place she recommended, Whiskey Rocks. Here. Looks nice. Brown Eyed Girl says, I love how you go with the flow. Indeed. Indeed. Oh, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. So we have another viewer saying hello. He was dressed very well. I wonder if he works for the players. I think he might have been a gentleman who used to work for the players. Wow, Union Square Cafe is still open. I thought this closed a long time ago. Brown Eyed Girl says, are you excited for May 9th when they announce the winners for the Peabody? I am indeed. Very soon, May 9th is when we will all find out with the Peabodys. Though I must say, it is just an honor to be nominated. That is the most important thing. Regardless of what happens, the nomination alone is an honor. Esteban says, I love Union Square Cafe. Benny says, you make me want to move back to New York. Susie says, you're Mr. New York City again. The channel she was talking about is Police Off the Cuff, and his name is Bill Canoe. Ooh, interesting. And Fawn says, thank you so much for not running away from that conversation. Oh yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, I'm glad the conversation went really well. It was very interesting. Fascinating to me, a local New Yorker. Mika says, Susie has awesome recommendations of what to wear for the Peabody Awards. Oh, you do? Interesting. Wendy says, are you signing autographs? I have been asked for an autograph very few times in my life. Maybe like 3 times, 4 times. Very, very few times. So one of the old historic taverns, Pete's Tavern over here. I recommend it. Very nice, very full today. Wow, I'm surprised. Established in 1864. One of the oldest, top 5 oldest taverns in all of New York City. Brown Eyed Girl says, you do realize you're a celebrity in your own right, as people recognize you out in the streets. Online has changed things often. Reverend Jenny says, do people recognize you often? In New York, yes, it does happen often. It's mostly because of the short videos. They spread so far and wide. Here's one of my favorite speakeasies, Dear Irving. They don't have a marker up front. Just go up through these doors. Great, great cocktail bar. And wow. New York City is looking way more lively today. This is awesome. Wow. Daryl says, what's the dress code for the Peabody Awards? The Peabody Awards is cocktail attire. So it's not black tie. Cocktail attire, which is formal, but doesn't necessarily have to be too formal. But. Kay says, the good weather brings everyone out. It really does. Reverend Jenny Osorio says, I've always loved watching your videos. It was so fun to say hi to you, Reverend Jenny, back in Tottenville in Staten Island. Many years ago already at this point, 3 years ago. All right, so we walked from 59th Street down to 14th Street, ladies and gentlemen. And now I am running out of battery. All right, so let's go for a final stop. Let's find a burger or some type of kind of fast food type of bite. Let's try something quick. We'll see how it is. So if anyone has recommendations in this area, let me know. But we officially walked from 59th Street all the way to 14th Street. Reverend Jenny says, am I going to the Peabody Awards? It depends if I'm declared a winner and if I'm invited. It's a very, very small event apparently, so we'll find out. We'll see. Benny says, where are you based? I'm in the New York area. Reverend Jenny says, oh my God, you remember when we met? I was wearing my pajamas that day. I was so excited to meet you. Hey, Reverend Jenny, yeah, of course. It was so awesome to meet you. I appreciate you saying hello and storming out from your home nearby to say hello. Mika says, yes, burger, please. Please no octopus. Mika, we are going to eat an octopus burger right now. It's like a full octopus in between two buns. Jimmy says, wow, you're near Joe's Pizza. We are, yeah. We're right by the Joe's Pizza, 14th Street. For future reference, new burger place on the south side of Houston Street. About 4 blocks west of Angelica. Ooh, yeah. There's a few exciting burger places that have opened up. There's one on the Lower East Side. Benny says, great walk today. Thank you for bringing us along. My pleasure, Benny. I'm so happy I can do a live video. It's been a while. Wow. Ah. Duxula says, eating octopus makes you feel like you're in Greece. Whoa, a lot of people here. Oh my God, what's happening? Crazy. This guy's cutting the red light. So right down there is Union Square. Union Square always hectic, especially during rush hour. It's the most busiest square in all of New York City. And right here is one of the many food courts throughout the city, which I do recommend. They always have solid food choices. Urban Space. And let's see what do they have now? Let's see if it's any new places that have opened up here. I think we have pretty much the same places. They've been here for a while. Hi. What about Pekin Duck Jane Bank, please? Do you have sparkling water? Oh, not spicy. Oh, do you have sparkling? Sparkling. Okay, alright, that's it. Actually, never mind. I'll have a mint lemonade, please. Yeah, a large one. Thank you so much. So, we are now going to indulge in one of my favorite fast foods in New York City, the Jim Bang. And the place is actually called Jim Bang. Yeah, Jim Bang, here in urban space right by Union Square. And ooh, I'm so excited to have a bite of this. This is the Pekin duck one, and let's try it out. And I'm glad that they added outdoor seating despite the massive amounts of cops that are here. This one's gonna be hard to eat by hand. Sometimes they roll it up like a burrito so you can actually eat it by hand. But this one, he kind of did a little bit more flatter, but it looks good. It looks stuffed. Look at that. Wow. And so many sirens here today. Oh, crazy. And fresh lemonade. I was actually stunned that he made it fresh. The lemons were right there, freshly squeezed. That's so cool. Is it the breast of the duck? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what part of the duck it is. But it's Pekin duck, so I'm not sure. messed up. He was so close. Fresh lemonade, not too sweet. But this is a mint lemonade. And he put peppermint syrup in here. And I don't like it. I like peppermint tea. I don't like peppermint syrup. Oh no, we ruined it. He was so close. Oh, why you put peppermint syrup? You just put real mint. Alright, well let's try this out. I'm excited for the... That was a waste of $8. That's how expensive this is. Crazy. Alright. This one requires a fork and knife. Sure. Wow. Lorraine says, yeah, should be fresh mint. Yeah. Peppermint should never be mixed with a lemonade. Never. Peppermint is not really meant for lemonade. And you should call it peppermint lemonade if it's peppermint. Yeah, should not call it mint. Mint and peppermint are not the same thing. Some countries around the world sometimes conflate the two. This happens a lot in Europe as well. Maybe it's the same thing with like Chinese or Taiwanese cultures. But here in America, like really, peppermint and mint are two very different things. I'm gonna throw this one away. That's pretty sad. But the actual jianbing is really good. So jianbing is a Chinese crepe. I think the crepe is made with egg. It's like served like a crepe, or sometimes it's served more like a burrito. And it's stuffed with duck, with this kind of pork rinds, and a lot of lettuce, some sauce. And this is really good. Wow, really, really good. Really packed. And the duck, very generous with the duck as well. April says, take it back. You deserve to enjoy. It's a little bit of a weird thing to complain about. It is tempting because it is a bit of false advertising. Because there are different things. All right, let's try this out. Seattle says, yes, take it back. Let me know. Will you take it back? Is this grievance strong enough to take it back? Would you take back, like if you're served something that says mint, but they actually give you peppermint, is it sufficient enough to take it back? Let me know. It's a bit of a gray area. If I were in Europe, I probably wouldn't do it because a lot of European countries, they just don't know the difference between mint and peppermint. To them, they don't care. So let me know your thoughts. I know here in America, we're very well used to having a big difference between the two. But the duck here is amazing. Wow, great big slices of duck. Truly in love. This is great, great, great food. I do recommend it. Don't recommend the lemonade, but I do recommend, or maybe I recommend the plain lemonade. But I do recommend this jianbing. Excellent, excellent food. And nice and light too, which is great. Rocky says, are the ducks from Central Park? I hope not. I really do hope not. This was a controversy with a few places in Chinatown. A place like this would not be doing that, but there was a controversy in Chinatown where they were finding out that the chicken wasn't actually fully chicken. But that's very rare in New York nowadays. How much was it? It was expensive. This is more like fast food because this jam bing, it looks big but it's pretty light. It's really light actually. It cost me $26, 25 something, but $26. Rounding up by a few cents. $26. Crazy expensive. Thanks for understanding I was making a joke, says Rocky. Indeed. Is the egg nice? The egg is very nice. Very great crepe. You did a great job. Wow. Is the duck tender? Very tender. Nicely crispy also. So Peking duck is you have the very soft kind of duck breast, I think, usually. And the skin is actually nice and crispy. Pretty hard to make. But gets the right balance. Thomas says, is better food Greece or Italy? Italy's top, for sure. Top food in the world. Greece is very fresh almost everywhere, for sure. But Italy is just way more advanced in food culture. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna head out now. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a good day, everyone.